Hello, beautiful peasants, and welcome in, and welcome back for some of you. It's been a little bit. It's a good stream to come back on. It is a very special day. Not only is my hair herring, I swear this is important to me. Oh my god, the weather. Anyway, hair looks good. We have a Kickstarter project launching today. More importantly. Already on my second coffee. Thank you guys for being cool this week. I'm so sad that I missed an additional stream. It's normal for me to stream 4 days a week, but 3 is pretty short. Your girl had such a busy week. Oh my god. But things are getting better. My horse is feeling better. So all things are good. He had a really gnarly abscess. He was like 3-legged lame, and I was stressed about it, but he's looking better. It is kind of a redundant poll. We love seeing Ricky. I know. It's because we're going to launch the Kickstarter in a couple minutes on stream, live. And Ricky was like, yeah, you can just launch it whenever. I'm going to just chill over here. And I'm like, they want to see you. He was like, well, I'm like, no, watch. I'm going to make a poll and they're going to say yes. He also said that for the one person who has voted no, he's fine to do whatever. He says that hurts his feelings. He'll show up in a bit. Yeah, Spartan is doing a lot better. Again, I knew it was an abscess, but it's just stressful. He's such, as my neighbor puts it, he's such a weenie. He doesn't handle pain well. All horses are different, and he'll let you know. He acted really pathetic the first day, and I just felt terrible about it. There's Ricky, who voted no. Ricky is sitting right next to me. He is so excited to play, I'm not kidding, Farming Simulator 2025, because it's on Game Pass now. He's been working hard all week so he can play his boring ass game. So congratulations to Ricky. Oh my god, Ricky's about to fight someone in the chat. But yeah, we're gonna wait a couple minutes here, kind of hang out. Oh, here is the cultist. So I am not post-processing poses on stream as much, but I don't want you guys to miss out on seeing what they look like finished. So here is those poses cleaned up. We did 2 models that day. Reaper made a steering wheel. Yeah, this Blender sacrilege in my community, I can't complain about it because now Ricky uses Blender too. Did I tell you guys? Ricky is learning how to model in Blender. He's actually doing it. We all knew it was going to happen. This is the downfall of our relationship, is you using Blender.
I'm listening to you like 20 seconds from now.
Oh shit, he has headphones in, so he can't hear what he's saying. Oh my god. Empress says, speaking of sick animals, my bunny Oreo, black and white, yeah, going through a GI stasis ear infection. Ouch in 2 spots. Well, good vibes for all. We're gonna get some hearts and love in here for all of our critters that, my god, if animals are not just something to be perpetually worried about, I mean, they bring so much joy, but also worry. We'll even get a Maverick up in here too. But yes, so the stream today. Hello, welcome in. These are all of my Tavern regulars, I can already tell. Thank you guys for being here. We got some fun stuff planned today. It's gonna be a normal full stream. We're not doing like a huge Kickstarter launch party where we watch the video and talk in detail about the whole thing, because again, this is super awesome. But we did just do one of these. So I don't want to wear you guys out. We're going to launch. It's going to be exciting. We're going to party. It's going to be great. And then we're going to make a whole model. Okay. We got an Earth Genasi Bard planned for today, and she is going to be a ton of work. So I'm excited to work on that. I have some polls in our Discord talking about different decisions about her character. They're mostly for flavor text. Though I love this poll here. What story she tongue through her music. And so far, Forbidden Love Between the Gods is in the lead. By a lot, and I love that because that's my favorite answer too. So, very nice. You'll get used to the gray hairs. Yeah, I know. I hope your bunny feels better. That's a precious name. Oh my goodness. It's true. Distingle says, I feel that us Tavern regulars are irregular at heart. This is so true. Alright, are we ready to launch this Kickstarter, y'all? I can get Ricky over here, and we can get rolling. Yeah. I'm even all logged in already and everything. Look at me, so prepared. I really haven't talked about this Kickstarter much on stream because I have been working. Working too much to talk about work. But no, on a real note, I'm really proud of this because I wrote all the stat blocks. It was my first time feeling confident enough to share stat blocks I have written, and honestly, it's easier and more fun than I expected. And I'm like, yeah, it's easy because I've been playing D&D for years, and like I love them. I think it's so much fun. All right, it's Kickstart time. Reaper's chanting. Ricky, come here. Oh, we're unearthing the dog. Oh, we had to unearth the dog. Oh no! Oh no. Is he gonna be crabby?
Probably.
Oh yeah, he's not have a cute face right now. Hello. Your ear's all flipped out. Here, let me fix your ear. There you go. There you go. Okay, he's gonna be tired baby today. Hello. It is Kickstarter time. Oh yeah, come over here. There he is. No. Okay. All right. We're gonna launch.
Yep.
But yes, you guys have summoned Ricky. You're headless today, though. There you are. God, I'm so pale and reflective.
Yeah, you are.
Jesus Christ. This is me tan. All I did was stand in the sun yesterday. Okay. We are launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's have Maverick click it.
Oh.
You can just stick over here. And he clicked. Good man.
Oh.
Okay, we have rules. Okay.
We click again.
Jesus Christ. We launched for real. And click. Good job, little dude. And now we're loading the page. All right, it happened.
Hey!
Let me get this link for y'all. Because then now you're like, well, where is it? Should I do a fancy reference link and do the business?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I should do business.
Do the business thing.
Okay, we're going to give you guys a fancy link. Because business and because tracking.
Don't use any other link.
We don't care. We're going to call it peasants. This won't affect you guys. It's just fun for us. And then we'll talk about it. Because we've got some really cool stuff on here. And Pookie Bear, as Aloha has lovingly named, is actually the cover monster, too. Alright. Bam. There's the link. You guys can check it out as I scroll through it on stream. You can watch the video. It looks like Ricky and I talking about it. Yeah. Alright. So, here is Book of Beasts. It's pretty much, we're going to start building a monster manual that's all M3DM themed. Maverick is so over this.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to go put him back and take a seat.
Sounds good. So we organized them through like different challenge ratings. And I'm super excited about this because we're able to feature critters like my chicken musketeer and stuff that maybe get a little overlooked, but they're still mighty and fantastic. Also, challenge rating 1, if you're not familiar. Challenge rating, it's kind of a loose science, okay? But the higher the number, the stronger the monster is, generally speaking. And so a challenge rating 1, so this chicken, would pose a medium difficulty for a party of 4 that's level 1. This is roughly how it breaks down, okay? The idea that he could TPK a bunch, like 2 level 1s is very funny to me. But he is adorable. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of scroll through here. You can see a lot of these. I think we did almost all of these on stream, actually. I had to bring the slug miner. He kind of grew on me. Do you guys remember me sculpting this raven and having an absolute fit because I couldn't figure out what a bird looked like? It really came together. Here's our little hellhound puppy. A challenge rating 2. He's a little beefy, honestly, but he was a little overpowered to have him just picked up as a familiar really easily, so I'm like, I'm gonna make him work for it. He's gonna be a 2. Especially if he grows up one day, then he's a problem. Here is our skeleton warriors. These were super fun as well. They're just goofy, and they're dwarf size too, so it's kind of a fun thing. Our water leopard, that was a fun stat block to do because it's able to combine like a lion pretty much with a water elemental, so that one has some pretty cool abilities. The necrotic ghost, man, that rendered so well. Man, she just snaps. There's our cursed mermaid, and that wraps up our 1 through 4. And there's all of our stat blocks. These were, again, I wrote all of these. I had so much fun. And the fun thing is, I'm actually going to share with you guys the editable files because I made these on a little thing online that formats it, right? So if you want to like make your own edits, you're going to have that exact file. They can be like, I'm going to make this a challenge rating 20. And you can do that and it's still going to make a super like sexy formatting, you know? DMs are so good at modifying stuff on the fly anyway, but if you want to look all nice and official, I want to give you that ability. Here's our next block here, 5 through 8. We have our Eldra tag. We had a bunch of tall monsters, and they were kind of tricky to fit in here. These 3 are so tall, and they look tiny, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. These are all going to be really fun to paint because they're so tall. And there's our Swarm Lord. I really leveled up here with like tertiary details and figuring out how to do that. We have a graphic at the bottom here that kind of shows that off. There's that Chimera variant, which I was like, this is going to be the dumbest looking thing. And then when we finished it, I was like, I think I love this. So it made it here as well. There's our Hippo Monstrosity. Oh, that's my coffee maker. I had to mute there. My coffee maker was screaming. Sorry. The Eldritch Blood Hag was really fun for me. That's one of my originals. I mean, everything on here is an M3DM original, but this one especially. I at the time, I had just finished the anime, The Promised Neverland, so it's kind of inspired by those demons. Kind of like the towns. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. There's lots of different demons, and some more civilized than others, and it's kind of inspired by the mesh of the two, but really cool. And then we also made tokens, because why not? We have these super gorgeous renders, and okay, these are compatible for like virtual tabletops like Roll20, but I also did this for all of y'all who are like, I'm gonna 3D print everything, and you're a DM, and then like your printer blows up, and you're like, fuck. Now you have a paper token, so you can at least have something to print and have it for your players ready. It's like a really good failsafe, and it's Roll20 friendly. But mostly it's nice to have a little failsafe, because 3D printers don't always be 3D printing, you know? They smell fear, especially with a session coming up like within 2 hours. There is a Cthulian Brainsucker. I gave this a crazy high challenge rating. Like Mind Flayers, I mean, legally distinct Brainsucker are lower challenge rating generally speaking, but I'm gonna I built his stat block loosely after the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. You know how he's like a crime like underlord, you know, when he had first like transform, he wears that hood and stuff. So the stat block has a bunch of references to the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. So yes, though if it was straight up the Emperor, he'd have a challenge rating of like 20, let's be real. Knuckleby made it, because oh my god, this is just such a good model. That's so much fun. And the Aquatic Eye Aberration. A lot of these were big streams that we did together, so a lot of you guys helped me put these together. Special shout out to Sater, my mod, because he had a huge impact on specifically both of these models. And then here are our big boys. We got the Skeleton Dragon, and we got the Biomechanical Lich. Yes, so Pookie Bear is the the most difficult monster to fight here. We do have the winged and the wingless version, depending how we want to spin this little guy. Yeah, I'm actually not done writing this specific stat block, but I got 30 days. He's going to have a bunch of legendary actions, and he's just kind of a pain. He's going to be so cool. And a huge problem. This is a TPK waiting to happen. Here are the printed photos. These are all 28mm scale, and my goodness, they look just as good as a render, if not a little better, which makes me very happy. And we share these exact same like successful print files with y'all. Every printer is different, but it'll give you a really good starting point at the very least. Look at how crunchy that is. Love that. Man, that looks good. You can see his little teeth. Yeah. And then here are close-ups of the renders, because we had some pretty stellar details to show off here. Look at these tertiary forms. I'm so proud of these. Oh man. And the chicken. I am obsessed with this chicken. There are our close-ups. A sample of what the pre-supported look like, because I do print like a heathen. It's easiest with a flexible build plate. And then bonus models are coming. So since you guys are here, I'm going to tell you guys, spoiler, they're going to be Tabber pets essentially. So Pookie Bear, the Tabber pet, is going to be part of this. And then as funding goes on, we're going to make more Tabber pets of different monsters. So just letting you guys know. And for once, we have a printed monster pack. If you don't have a 3D printer, no problem. $65, shipping is free. It's US only. I even said sorry to the Aloha in the official video. Aloha has a 3D printer now, so I feel like Aloha shouldn't care. Right? Anyway, US people, this is a screaming deal. We'll ship these to you, all 10 of them at 28mm scale. So like this base, all these circle bases are 25mm, which is standard. So that Cursed Mermaid I actually have right here. And that's what you'd get. We're gonna have it all post-processed for you. It's not gonna be pre-primed, just in case you have a certain priming technique that you like. 3D prints aren't perfect. You might see some scuff marks and whatnot, but it's pretty fancy. This is what you'd be getting. Here's a sample of that, plus the other 10. Oh shoot, I have Knuckleby right here too. We're able to fit Knuckleby too. So if you want these sent to your door and you live in the US, it is free shipping. So it's 65 bucks out the door because I can, oh no, Aloha is throwing a huge fit. But you have a 3D printer, I thought you'd be okay. Aloha's sad. We did the math. We'd have to charge like $100 to send it to you. Why is overseas so expensive? Oh my God. And then you have to pay money to pick it up. We saw the whole VAT thing and I was like, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to all of my overseas lovely people. But if you're in the US, we can send you stuff. Also, if you're in the US, we do put a couple extra goodies into these bags. So it's not our boxes, it's not just the prints. You may or may not get some stickers and perhaps a few dice. So, yes. Here are the reward tiers. If you're like, I don't have money, here's $1. I would love that. That's still, you're part of it. We love you. The encounter pack, this is like, oh, I don't need STLs. I don't 3D print. You get all the stat blocks and all the tokens. So if you're a Roll20 only person, bam, this is for you. Or if you're on Patreon already, it's only 10 bucks and you get all of this. We probably underpriced that a little bit. That's okay. It's a good deal. We're not against good deals here. 10 bucks for all this. To get the Book of Beasts, our early bird deal, it's only 25 bucks. That's less than $1 per STL and you get all the stat blocks and all the tokens. Yeah. That deal only lasts for the first 2 days. So in 2 days, that tier disappears. You got less than 48 hours as of right now. We do have the champion tier again, name in the credits, all that kind of stuff. And then you may or may not have input on tablet pets. We'll see. There's our printed model pack. I told you about that, 65 bucks. And then of course, a merchant. If you want to be able to sell the STLs and you be allowed to sell digital products for the first time ever. We don't allow digital sales usually, but you will be allowed to sell the stat blocks and the tokens as you see fit. Not the STLs, but 3D prints and then the digital products, the stat block, and the tokens for that. I could see that being a big game changer for some merchants. And of course, we've got add-ons. We've got the Master Civic Collection, all these other ones. These are all screaming deals. Familiars and Beasts is always only $5 because it was my first project ever. Those models are a little outdated in the best way, and that's why they're $5. Alrighty, y'all. That is everything. Thanks for hanging out with me while I walk through that. Oh, we are a quarter of the way. Love to see it. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. I love doing these launch days, and I can't believe that Ricky already got a project put together. We can get a little applause for Ricky. He can't hear me because he's listening to the stream, but in 20 seconds, he'll go woo. Yeah. It's going to take about 20. You're going to hear the delay in real time. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We love what we do. It's just such a good time. And we used to do projects I think were a little more like chasing the money and like, oh, there's the woo. See, he's right here. But like literally, he's got his screen turned. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, look, that's where that cardboard box that has the fancy black boxes, which we will ship the printed minis in. All right. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We seriously love what we do. And what was I saying? Oh yes, we used to do projects that were like, oh, what's gonna sell? And we have really moved away from that and being like, what do I like? And guess what? That sells really well. It's scary to put your heart into something, you know what I mean? And I'm like, who's gonna want stat blocks from me? People write their own stat blocks. And I'm like, I just want, you know what, fuck it. I like writing stat blocks. I'm gonna do it myself. So that's where a lot of this came from. Like, the idea of doing a Book of Beasts, in a way, I was worried like it only appealed to DMs, right? Because players don't need to be buying monsters. But I'm like, who cares? Monsters are cool. So again, it's very much so becoming more of a passion project, and it's been really fun. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Sean says, we love you, Ricky. Just saying. Oh, I like that. Aloha is still crying. That is A-okay. Yeah. I know. You guys have so many taxes. Oh my god. Alrighty, y'all. We'll check on this Kickstarter every now and then. The fact that we're a quarter funded, I'm pretty confident we'll hit 1,000 before it is all over. There's RV. Nice. Good. I'm glad you're still using your little messages and stuff. Thank you. Sean says, I love collecting stat blocks though. Really? Even as a player? Okay, good. I'm so glad. I think I'm gonna start doing stat blocks for all of these releases. They were so much fun. I was just worried that I'd get like actually to death, you know? It's a lot more flexible than I thought. Like you can just take really any monster and then put a little bit of flavor text on it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna show you guys the chicken stat block because I'm super proud of it. And it is just the funniest thing. It's actually the first stat block that I made for the project. I just did them in order. And yeah, I don't know. It was a time that I feel like I could be really creative with it in a different way. I'm used to doing, you know, visual art, so it was kind of fun to do something a little different. But I want to show you guys the ability I gave it. So here is that first stat block for the Chicken Musketeer. Oh, let's put it over here. Alrighty. So yeah, pretty standard. I gave him leather armor because he is in fact wearing like a little jerkin. But blade pack is pretty simple. He has a blade in his mouth. But here's the one that I like so much. Dramatic Flourish. When hit by a melee attack, the chicken may squawk loudly and garde in chicken and leap 10 feet in any direction without provoking opportunity attack. It's a really simple little thing, but I wanted to give DMs an opportunity to like have the chicken run away and not get murdered if they have like, if their players are a bunch of murder hobos, but the DM was like, no, please, like you're supposed to work with the chicken. I want to make sure he had an ability to disengage without being too overpowered because he's only a challenge rating of 1. So I'm very excited about that. I also made up a language. Chicken is not a language, but I thought that'd be funny in case someone had it. Well, I play as a druid usually, but I know, surprising nobody. And like pretty much every time I see an animal, I will wild shape into that animal and try to talk to it. And like I've had plenty of DMs be like, it doesn't understand you. I'm like, but I am the thing. So I made sure to put that it speaks chicken. But it also understands common, so I love that idea. I really hope someone makes this their familiar at the very least, because he's just a cutie. Alrighty. Oh yeah, and for some reason I gave it bonus on charisma checks once a day, because as a bonus action, chicken strikes a pose and fluffs its feathers, and it gains advantage on the next attack roll. Because I don't know, he's just strutting his stuff. He's just a fun little dude. There we go. Oh yeah, Ricky said, this is my favorite flavor text for the chicken. Yeah, this is what we have. This is on the Kickstarter right here in this text right here. And it says at the end, feathered plume held high and rapier ever at the ready. The Chicken Musketeer struts with the pride of 100 duels won and none remembered. I love that. Yeah, I found out Ricky is actually quite the little creative writer. He wrote all of these and he had a really good time doing them. I was surprised. I'm like, damn, you are fluent in dork. Hello, says check general, I guess. What? What are we sad about? Here we go. Thank you. Yes, hear ye peasants, the Book of Beasts has arrived. Let me get my face out of the way. There we go. Oh, there's a cute rhyme here, I'm sure. Gather your party imprinters. It's time for M3DM to advertise. We have goblins, ghouls, and chickens, a joy for all campaigns. So print to your heart's content and drink up those resin remains. A huge Kickstarter release, a monster of every type of den. Support the release, dear peasants, and rest in peace, Torben. I hate you. Oh my god. Anyway, there's that link. Oh, you can grab the right reference code. You're fancy. I like it. Okay, I hate you less. Christ. Sean says, I love this chicken, not gonna lie. Thank you, thank you. Hey, that flavor text, that is 3 Michelin stars. Out of 5, okay, I'll take a 3 actually, it's quite good. Beautiful. Oh my god. You knew I had to read the whole thing, so it's diabolical. Okay. That is our intro, sitting at a comfortable 30 minutes. Let's get some art going, shall we? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something special for you guys right now. We're going to do a little spoiler. Ricky's going to tell me no, but I've got 20 seconds. I'm going to tell you what the next Kickstarter is, but I'm not going to tell you because Ricky would yell at me. So I'm just going to show you the next Kickstarter. This is all you get. That's your hint for the next Kickstarter, okay? I got about 5 seconds before he's like, no. I didn't say anything though, I just showed it to you. Again, this is your hint.
No.
Okay, moving on. So, we're going on to Fabric Keeper's Craft. He is like eyeballing me right now. Again, thank you guys so much. I know you dorks are just like, ah, we got 11 dorks, 11 peasants. I love it. Thank you guys so much. Let's get some more. Yes, that is the cherry blossom dragon. Michelin stars are out of 3. I don't know what rock I'm living under. Thank you. Otaka says, either I'm having deja vu or you already hinted at that. Probably I've hinted it before, but that was supposed to... Okay. We changed order. But damn, you have good memory. I like it. All right. We are sculpting today. We are making something new. Let me get our opening project file going. And then let's start crafting this lovely Earth Bard Genasi, shall we? All right. Let's talk about it. I need to gather references. We got work to do still. Here is the request. It is from Lazy Fox Heart. Again, lovely patron, very helpful. Always has cool requests. Lazy Fox Heart says, hee hee, I am back with another model request. Yep, I definitely played too much D&D, but I just love it and all the characters me and my group come up with. I have the best people, I swear. Anyways, she's an Earth Genasi bard. Her skin looks like marble, but not the pure white, statue kind, the one with black and golden veins used for flooring and countertops. Not sure how it looked in sculpting, but I love the kintsugi you made a while back ago. Yeah, that was a micro request, I'm pretty sure. Her hair is braided to look like tree roots and decorated with beads, rings, and other small decorative things. That almost rhymed. Also, her instrument is a viol. Viola? Is viola different than viola? Someone find that out. All right, which can get pretty big. Okay, it's like the upright. Okay, I'll find out. But I liked that it's such a different choice from the standard lute or flute most bards have. She's pretty happy most of the time and loves telling stories. I haven't found many Earth Genasi models in general, and most of them seem rather bulky, which is not really what I'm hoping for. I'm glad they specified that, because I've made some Earth Genasi bards, or not bards, but Earth Genasi, and they're chunky. So, we're gonna make a slender, more druid-esque interpretation of a Genasi. And if you're not familiar, like, what is a Genasi? It's like an elemental born. It's the child, like a hybrid between, I think it's a human or an elf. It's some sort of humanoid and like a genie. Or genie. Something from the astral plane. Okay? Okay. Alright, so let's gather some references, shall we? Thank you, Paint. I appreciate that. Ooh, we have an important update from Aloha. Aloha says, Mia, over the weekend I fully printed out all my commissions to have on my shelf. Check for quality. And also me and Micah are full stream ahead as a noir detective character next. Is that a reason you did not share a picture? We have 3D print showcase. Why are you not share print? We would like to see, unless it's, you guys got like an NDA going on. We want to see though. We're all excited about it. Yeah, elemental planes. Thank you. I'm like, not this plane. Other. Special. Alright, let's get our Pinterest board. And, yeah. First thing I'm gonna do is type in just viol. I think it was a typo. Couldn't find any pins. Not a single one. We'll type in viola. There we go. Gorgeous. I mean, they said that they can get quite big. I'm not sure if they're talking about like an upright base, almost. I need this for oh, they do get quite big. No, it's a coffee cup. Wow, this is for Aloha. Do you see this? Oh my god, how did I find a caked up next? Anyway, we'll worry about the instrument a little later and really get to the character first. So I'm gonna type in an Earth Genasi because I know stuff will come up. Ooh, that's actually very similar to kind of what they were talking about with like the cracks and stuff. Okay. I like her especially. Oh, you know what? I forgot I have a fancy app now. I can just click and drag. There you go. Put that in my Earth Genasi folder. Fancy. Is it a viola or violin? Tell me. I know, I don't know. I have the request right here, Paint. You can scroll up and read it for yourself. It just says it's only one letter away from viola, right? So I want to say it's that. I feel the same though. Alright, I think what's going to make it look like a Genasi is going to be the texture on the skin. And then I might give her kind of more otherworldly features. But as far as like, I want like a classic bard outfit though. Oh my goodness, some of these are really cute right from the get-go. Because there's so many different flavors of bard. So I'm trying, she said, Lazy Fox said something more on like the elegant side, not like chunky. So I'm thinking maybe like a really fun like little dress. Because when they don't specify, that means I get to have fun and do whatever. Emperor says Mia, so they want a genie summoned by a woman and not a man. Makes sense. Bingo. Emperor says Mia, I had an idea. This might not be printable, but what if the smaller violin slash viola she plays summons a spectral one behind her on the bass? That'd be fancy and beautiful. Like she's her own little like orchestra almost, or like quartet. That'd be pretty freaking cool. Oh, I like this too. Look, it splits apart. Have a weapon in it. That's kind of cool. Really trying to think. Something more on the earthy side. Ooh, I like this. I've never done these little like shorts. Is this getting too anime? I feel like this is getting a little anime. I don't know. Something about this speaks to me, so I'm gonna save it. Is that Jack Black? Okay. Ooh, that's beautiful and really simple. So they mention again, it's an earth Genasi and it's a bard. So what can we do to make this outfit look earthy without just looking like a druid? You know what I mean? Paint is still just yelling. I love it. Violin versus viola in size. Thank you. I'm going to make sure I reference that. I like this. This is kind of more down to earth looking. I'm just not sure how bard heavy we're gonna go. Okay. Oh, someone new is here. Hello, Gogo. How about carved stone? That is our plan for her skin. I grabbed a reference for that. I'm trying to think more of her outfit right now. Again, she's a bard, but I would like to incorporate that Earth Genasi feel as well. There's a viol. Okay. They did say it was a larger instrument. I think Micah got it. That's gonna be it. So it's like a small upright bass, right? Viola di gamba is also just called a viol. Micah coming in clutch here, or Blue Jester. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why not just cover them in mud? As a bard, they can pull it off. Yeah, that high charisma though. Peasant paint's losing it. Oh my god, is that a real thing? We're all learning today. It's Dandelion. I'm starting to get more of an idea of what I want this to look like. Because like I like the shapes here, but it's still, this almost reads more roguelike to me, you know? Which is fine. There we go. Yeah, Reaper said maybe less dress, more like travel wear. I do like the idea. My only problem with it is that it kind of starts to blend in with like a ranger or a fighter even. So I want it kind of, again, I want it very flamboyant, very classic bard, you know? Oh, that's beautiful. When they say elegant bard, this is what comes to mind. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, we're gonna type in just very literally Earth Genasi Bard and see what comes up. Because sometimes, if I get really specific with Pinterest, it does a good job. Here's the skin reference I'm going for. I think an elegant dress is not a bad idea, and then we can start incorporating all these vines and stuff. Just Lingual says, technically all violins are part of the viol family. Historically, they were called violin, viola, violoncello, and contrabass, or bass violin. But over time, they gained modern names based on their range/timbre. Okay, timbre. I know what that word means, but I can't say it. What's new? I'm pretty sure this is what they want. This is definitely what people come to me for. 100%. Can you imagine? They probably would unsubscribe on the moment. I wouldn't blame them. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I did you dirty. Sometimes I wonder if people are over-sexualizing art, like 3D models, because they're just being dumb, or because like it's literally less work. Like, I get it. That's a shortcut. All right, nothing jumped out at me in a way that I was certain about, so I'm gonna just start creating, and I'm gonna rely on your guys' input to kind of have this come together naturally. We're gonna do a little collage moment. I'm moving my stuff around so I get maximum reference. There we go. All right. We are beginning the sculpting process. So if you're not familiar with my process here, essentially I do a little bit of kit bashing to start with. I'm really focusing on silhouette and really just the essence of the character. We're looking at shape and form in block out terms. So not like strands of hair, general hair shape or hairstyle. Does that make sense? Big shapes first. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove my male base mesh because we don't need that. And then we're going to just look at these pieces here and see if I kind of feel inspired by any of them. She's going to have braids. I think this would be beautiful. I don't know if I want to do a high pony. They mentioned having her hair looks like, yeah, like tree roots, braided to look like tree roots and decorate with beads and whatnot. So I'm going to go with like I never have an excuse to do gorgeous hairstyles like this. I don't have very many that have these braids here. I love this hairstyle, so we're going to do that. So each time I bring in these pieces from my kit bashing stage, we're kind of like loosely just throwing them on because again, we're thinking about shape, not worried about details. All right, so we have that. I'm tempted to grab the antlers to do something with them. Because antlers? Yeah, what if like locks dreads? Yeah, that could be gorgeous too. Okay, I could see modifying that hairstyle I currently have to look more like dreads. Or at least like the way I can put in like little beads and flowers and whatnot. All right, these antlers are not fitting the character, but something about them I like. So I'm gonna have them in here and just put them on one side. It's like an interesting asymmetrical detail. Again, the kit bashing stage is so much fun because we're finding shapes here and then we will refine as we go. Does that make sense? All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, one of my favorite hairstyles of all time that I've done is this. We did, oh my God, it's based on the one that you just saw. But we were not going to give her horns. She is not a tiefling. All right, next up is me the clothes, which I am just so not certain of. I do think a kind of dramatic heel would be fun. So I'm gonna go with these cute boots here. The kit bashing this stage is a fun, messy part of the process, and I used to have some of this already prepared for my streams, and I found out that my students need to see this, where it's like things look kind of like nothing. There's something about watching someone that's really skilled with sketching and a pencil, and they do these like just gorgeous sketches, right? The art always looks like art. I find that's not necessarily the case with 3D. You have to go through an embarrassing stage. You have to go through a good amount of ugly before you get anywhere, okay? So So by showing more of that process, I found that it's made my students a little more confident. So I'm kind of posing her feet right here, not a ton, just enough to see where that height would leave me. Obviously her toes are very squished right now. Just so I can see, like, okay, see how I had this shoe a little too high up? Now I know I can move it over a bit. All right, and now we're gonna squish the feet in. It was just more of a reference to see where my height was going. All right, got some boots. And now I'm very undecided on the drapery. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a blend between what Reaper and Empress said. Empress gave us this beautiful dress, and then Reaper mentioned more like normal travel wear, right? And I really think we can fuse the two to have a fun combination. Hello, Foxy. Mia, 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 mia. Fun fact, my Uncle Ron almost exclusively calls me that. I don't know if I've ever heard my Uncle Ron just say like, hey Mia. It's always, hey, me, 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 me. Like, it's just a thing that he has done since I was tiny. So that warms my heart. It does. All right. I really want to do these like cute little flared shorts, I think. Okay, quick question for y'all. Is there any playing... You have to sit to play this instrument, don't you? Because if so, I need to change her outfit a little bit. Then we're not going to do shorts. What if I did like a skirt that was like hiked up on one side and had like little shorts underneath it? I'm thinking. Sean says, your Uncle Ron sounds sweet though. He is a gem. He is just lovely. My aunt is very type A, you know, very, I guess not intense. She's just always moving. She's always doing stuff, always solving problems. And then Uncle Ron is just like her zen. You know, he's just the best. I will brag about my family literally anytime. I got the coolest family. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I think this is cool, and then I will develop these little modesty shorts I have on here into like real shorts that stay on the design. You do need to sit to play it. Okay, cool. Then I will definitely keep this kind of design here. Maybe I can even cross her legs over and it'll kind of match for that little split here. Kind of a cool thing going on. And then I like the ruffle right here. I know I'm just like layering this up. That's kind of part of that process, is kind of seeing what this is all going to look like. We're just going to throw it on there. I'm going to see what I want to do with it later. We'll add a bunch of belts and nonsense later. What is a character if not just a collection of belts and pouches? And then for her shirt, ooh, I'm not sure. I think I want to make it kind of peasant-y. Kind of like barmaid, where there's like that under bust thing going on, you know? Do I really not have anything like that? That surprises me. Oh, kind of. I have the start of it right here. Oh, what if I went with a swoopier top, though? Then we're getting into kind of this more regalness that Empress referenced. I wasn't planning on that. Again, when you guys share your creativity with me, it's so much fun to kind of channel it and see where it goes. So thank you for sharing your ideas. I'm like a wholesome creative parasite. Thank you, Paint. Okay, then I'm gonna want the swoopy shirt, I think, because it's just so elegant. Question, will they be plucking the instrument or bowing? I think bow. I think a beautiful bow. Because look at these lines, you know? Sean says, can you adopt me? I need some cool fam. Hashtag or slash kidding. Not kidding. You are adopted. You're a peasant. You're part of the Tavern family. There you go. If you needed it official, now you're officially capital P peasant. Her hair is killing me right now. It's so silly. All right, I like this. Stuff is happening. Something about this shirt though, the ruff, that's barred. If I can somehow incorporate this bit of ruffle onto this shirt, I would love that. I would want it to be asymmetrical though, because you guys know how I love me some asymmetrical details. Like that's tacky. But if I delete half of it, you'll see. Then it's art. Oh, there we go, symbiotic. That's much cuter than parasite. Okay, thank you. Hello says, whenever I have an idea, I have to check with the machine Mia hooked me up to see if it's okay to do or not. She siphons them all from the peasants. It's true. It's true. Right. Wait a second. Okay, it looks like it boiled down to just be a ruffle here on the shoulder and nowhere else, and I'm not mad about that. Also, the antlers are not working. These are not working. What if they were like on her hip or something? Nope. What if I deleted half of them? I'd like to do that. And now I have these two branches, and I do something with these. No, they look monstrous. All right, they're gone. They didn't work. All right. Oh, I have this leaf necklace. Ooh, I can probably put that around her hip. So I initially designed this to be for my Furbog herbalist, and it was a necklace. But in this case, I can use it kind of around her hips as like a little sash. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cool. Is the kit bashing making sense? Are we seeing why I do this? And now we're gonna start refining. You don't have to design like this, obviously, but it's sure fun. For me, it's a lot quicker. All right, let's start getting some color blocks in here and figuring out how all this is going to talk to each other. When I refine, I usually start from the feet up, and I will hide any interfering shapes. So I like this a lot, but this needs to be shorter. And the reason I'm making this shorter is because at the length that it is, it kind of muddies up this like boot area, and it makes it harder to read the design. So I'm looking for a straighter line right here off the hip. And I'm gonna see what it looks like shorter, because I bet you it's gonna read a little more clearly. You don't want to line up exactly. See, now I have a quadrant, like the feet exactly stop where the skirt exactly stops. That looks weird. We don't want tangents. So either a little longer or a little shorter, and that's where I'm gonna kind of find a rhythm here. Maybe on her back, up from the shoulder blades. That could be cool for the antlers or for the leaves. Shoulder blades are a fantastic spot to like put in detail, because it's naturally where like wings will kind of happen. So that is a good bony landmark to work from. Okay, I think on the longer side does look good. And I'm using my smooth brush to make this line here straighter, because I'm obsessed with getting all these lines kind of flowing in the right way. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is adjust this flat edge here. It's looking a little stiff. So what if I made this more of a V shape? And then shortened it up again. Yeah, I'm gonna soften this up using Polish by Features. I like that. And then bringing that up a little bit again. And then I find that if I can't get a shape to work, you don't want to get overworked, the shape. So you don't want to do like a bunch of this and this. The whole thing just ends up being lumpy. That's why I like using Polish by Features to kind of smooth things out to see if I'm even going to like it. I think that has potential, but I'm not sold on it. We'll see. Next thing we're going to do is try to incorporate these skirt layers to see if that's more what I like. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to scrap this piece and instead use this one, because that trim is kind of bringing this together. See what I mean? It'll start to click. Yeah, that's doing more of the thing that I wanted. I want her to have kind of this like traveling minstrel feel to her, and having these like layered up skirts that are kind of hitched up on her hip, I think would be really cool. Emperor says, I'm a sucker for this style of dress. Diagonal cut hemline? Me too. It is just so flattering. Ooh, Micah says both antlers with leaves make it a bit of reclaiming discarded / trophy antlers mixed with living leaves or flowers. Ooh, that would all be really cool too. Stick around, because that's gonna be huge when we get to the secondary forms and figuring out how it's gonna work out. I think I might want to do this long skirt underneath. And like all skirts and dresses that I do, I look at them and I think, how would it twirl? Is it twirl friendly? I want this to make sure, like, in my head, it has to be like fan out beautifully if you spin. So we are not going to need the shorts, actually. I'm going to scoot in her hips a little bit. Let's get more of a hitch on this skirt here. And I might do the same thing on this one side. It might just end up looking a little bit crooked. I will probably have like a leather belt that comes down and grabs this, kind of like a garter almost. Antlers, typo. I knew what you meant. All right, we're gonna leave that alone for right now and then move on to the shirt. I'm gonna briefly take away her hair so I can really focus on how this shirt is going to flow. I am gonna keep, maybe mirror and weld it? I don't know. Right now it's asymmetrical and I think that's quite beautiful. It's a bit lower cut than I was wanting. And if this isn't working quite the way I want it to, I'll simply just make it from scratch. The kit bashing stage is not about keeping old assets. It's about being able to use them to visualize new pieces easily. We're gonna reduce the size of her lats because I don't want her quite that muscled. Let's give more of a U shape in the back. I love a low back line. I always think that's really pretty and really elegant. I think we're starting to get more of that traveling minstrel look, but she's also looking a little bit frumpy. A little bit. Depending how I decorate this, it will alleviate that or make it worse. We'll see. We don't want frumpy, we want well fit. Let's go ahead and throw a mirror and weld on this. I think the shirt's getting overworked. It's not speaking to me. No shirt. Final design. I do like the idea though. Let me see if I can... I think this little sash, asymmetrical sash, will be a big part of this design. So I'm actually gonna throw this on first. She's not going to be topless. And I'm gonna design a new shirt here. All right, I think we got to stick with this asymmetrical look. So I'm gonna go with maybe something off the shoulder. I think that could suit this character quite well. I also think something that would be more of like a halter top could be neat and give her more of that like tall, proud posture and silhouette. I thought frumpy meant plain. It can. I just think like frumpy lumpy, you know? Just not flattering. I'm gonna try this style instead. Something high-necked. I don't know. It's speaking to me right now. Yeah. Look how much better that looks. I liked what was possibly going to be very elegant with the loose shirt there, but it just wasn't working. Ooh, what if like Greek muse? I like that. That's kind of what I'm trying to combine. So like the elegance of like a Grecian muse, you know, or goddess, but then with the practicality of like a traveling minstrel. We're gonna need some belts. It's belt time. Ooh, that worked out really nicely the first time, so I'm not going to do it again. Good job, ZBrush. Aren't those cute? All right, let's start getting a color scheme. Ooh, Empress has a question. Mia, I have been exploring character design in my downtime, beautiful, via YouTube University, and it crossed my mind, how much do you lean into shape language for sculpting? Circle, triangles, etc. Oh, all the time. All the time. So in this case, I do want her to be kind of like softer, more elegant. So I have these like rounded ruffles happening down here, but I want her to be like lanky and elegant. So I have this like driving, tapered triangle, like not triangle, like long rectangle, literally just kind of like guide upwards. Does that make sense? That's more apparent when you're doing stuff like cartoonist stuff, like very similar to what Reaper does. Reaper and her designs honestly are their own little masterclass in like strong shape design and hierarchy. Cute. All right, I'm still not certain what I want the color scheme here to be. We're gonna go with greens. That's gonna make my life make sense. Oh yes, we're gonna do like a tri-toned green goodness. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. All right, now to work with her hair and her facial features. So she's an Earth Genasi. She's going to be more ethereal feeling. I also think I want to give her more black features to match her hair and just like this joyful, oh, yeah. Okay, I see it. I see it. First thing to do is fix her pale complexion. She's actually supposed to be pretty much, not black as an African American, I mean like literally, like black with gold veins in her skin. That's kind of more how I'd color like a drow. Kind of like this blue-gray. This is not a real skin tone, obviously. And then with these gold accents. So maybe I will start with this. So whenever you are coloring darker skin or made up skin like this blue here, don't forget to add like the warmth under your skin still. So you're still gonna apply like blush and like normal makeup and stuff, but you're not gonna just go for a darker tone, because otherwise just a bunch of black. You are still gonna warm up those tones. I'm gonna shift towards more of a purple here. See? It's much more flattering. Give her more of like a purple lip here. This is going to be a really unique character if I can figure out how to do it all right. All right, let's go ahead and adjust her features. I'm going to bring her nose in a bit and then give her these beautiful lips. So we're going to soften the Cupid's bow a little bit. I mean, I'm probably gonna give her a giant smile too, so. There we go. Add a little bit of joy here to her expression. but also this kind of ethereal look. I don't think they're supposed to have pointed ears as a Genasi, but it's my art, it's my rules. I do what I want. We're gonna go with higher, stronger cheekbones too. Okay, I'm gonna look at a reference of this smiling black woman really quick because I need that very specific reference. Here we go. I'm wanting something like this. Gorgeous. Oh, I like her hair a lot too, but not for the specific character. That's a great reference too. All right, we're gonna grab that and put that into my folder. And we're gonna grab her as well. Perfect. All right, let's get cooking. Okay, so the brows are a little wider, a little more rounded. And the nose is actually kind of heart-shaped when they smile. Okay. Oh, I like that. I do often see Genasi with pointed ears. It's a pretty common interpretation. I think older edition art had them pointed. I like it. They're onto something. We're also going to fix our lighting and our scene here. Get something a little nicer. This is not a pleasant vibe. No, I want her to be so much warmer and kinder. Why is the lighting looking... It's that skin tone I did. It's not a good skin tone. I think I'm just literally gonna sculpt a black woman and then they can paint it however they want. But doing this like onyx skin tone with gold is just, it's just too much. That's not right. Let's go warmer. No. It's lighter. It's like a true golden brown. More gold. Empress says, so happy to see this. I'm glad. Yeah, we could stand to have a little bit more diversity in here. Make it a really dark, warm gray. Yeah, if I go for more of this, more of like this, you know, Earth Genasi approach. Again, we're back into not real skin tones here. I feel the need to specify because I've seen people that are get a little literal with the skin tones. Like they're black and they're like, neat. Or if it's like a white person and they do this and I'm like, okay, y'all, this, we're all different shades of brown. That's it. All right. Speaking of, let's go live in Brown Land, which is between red and orange. These are where your skin tones exist. All of them. See? Look at this little block right here. These are all real skin tones. There we go. That was better. That's more chocolatey. Let's go a little more. Ooh, that's a little too red. That's better. That's much better. Okay, okay. Hello. Actually, Mia, I'm blue. Yeah, we know Stitch. Sit down. Thank you very much. Actually, okay, I don't want to... I was going to do hair, and I was like, I don't think I need to, actually, quite yet. I'm going to soften the bridge of her nose a little bit. And then I need to work on this smile if I'm going to do a smile, because that's going to do all kinds of stuff. All right. First thing we're gonna do for a smile is I need to separate her lips. So I'm gonna do a really soft, smooth, just to make sure they're separated. There's Loa, Stitch. And then I'm gonna mask. Let's see if I can do a smart mask. Ah, we both know that's not gonna work. We're gonna like destroy her lips and then we're gonna fix them together, okay? She's gonna look horrifying. It's part of the smile process, okay? I don't wanna hear it. God, I can already see the Aloha screenshots. Stop it. And never do a pure white for teeth. They're not. They're yellow. I promise you. Ugh. Stop it. There we go. There we go. The color contrast is going to help me a lot. This is like the weakest smile ever. I know people that smile like this for real. Like they're actually happy. I don't know. I cannot relate as someone whose entire face contorts. Like, let's get some diversity in this stream finally. I knew it. I knew you were going to do this. All right. Really deep fold right here. And then like gorgeous cheekbones. There's a sweetness here too. I'm trying to get those. This is what I'm thinking, but yeah. Yeah. Let me take my standard brush and bring up those cheekbones. Hello. I'm going pretty extreme here because sometimes it helps me to do that. We have a GIF. Space. Oh! Yes! Okay, can you do me the favor of grabbing it? Like, there we go. It stopped. Never mind. I need a screenshot of that face. Micah says, yeah, that's my smile. Either closed mouth but very wide, or mouth not open much, just terrible shapes. So you either got this or this. That's like a little kid smile, like. Ooh. Remember, a lot of the joy in a smile comes from the eyes. So if you have their eyes just like dead open, like don't do that. Bring those eyes up. Give a squint, okay? Also, in solidarity for eye bags, I'm gonna add some eye bags here. I'm gonna soften her jaw a little bit here. Her chin's wider than it needs to be. All right, now it's time to grab the corners of this mouth. So I've done this. We're going up. My smile, like literally, look how much it moves from here to here. Like it moves literally up and back because my head is round. So it's gonna curve around it. Don't do a smile that's like flat. I see this all the time where like the mouth looks like this on the side. You wanna pull it up. That's a little extreme. You get my point. Bald queen. Honestly, she can rock it. And then, yeah, it'll move your nose too. Mine does that too. Yeah, it kind of brings it makes it look like the tip comes down a little bit. I'm not really sure how the side profile is supposed to look. I need a little bit of help with that. Gorgeous. Ugh, this is looking nicer. It is. And remember, the actual smile shape doesn't come from the top lip, it comes from the bottom. So when you smile, your top lip pretty much stays straight and it's your bottom one. That gives it that, like, you know, classic little like U shape. The cheeks smoosh from the smile, yes. Oh, there we go. We got some classics here. Also, that's letting me cheat and get some side profile. I feel like I'm not getting the eyes right. No, actually I'm doing better than I thought. Okay. The brows need to be a little thicker though. Yeah. Let's do move and back face mask. And I don't have them blended too much right now, but I will. I got some kind of weird shapes happening here. I need to, her cheeks are not quite right, but she's already quite beautiful. Look at those lips, please. Yeah, I need... Yeah, push them in and out more. Like, can I just mask it? I feel like that's not the most successful approach maybe, but I'm gonna try it. Because I know where they go. What if I did like the softest little like... Nah, it's gonna be really extreme. That's not gonna work. What if I use my move brush? Okay. I see you. That's working. I'm not getting this nose shape right from the side. Dude, I love noses. Yeah, it's a stronger shape than I'm expecting. Ah, I see, I see, I see. Damn, she is cute already. And again, for the poly paint, you can do like these really rich, beautiful tones. You don't just make it darker brown. Add some life into her face really quick here. I went a little saturated with her lip color. I'm gonna deepen that a little bit. There we go. And then be careful when you're adding poly paint to the corners of the lip, which is just like in real life. That's how you give yourself like clown lips. You want to make sure it's really going to taper as you move back. You don't want to overline all the way to the corner here. Ask me how I know. I'm not working with much real estate, but still. All right, what about the gap? Yeah, this is actually quite small. This is really fun for me right now. I'm really enjoying just taking my time with this face. And there's so many different kinds of noses I can do here. Oh my goodness, loving this. Let's bring that lip up a little bit. And then add a little bit more volume without distorting the line too much. I probably need to move her mouth. Like the actual teeth. Also, why is this checkered? I don't hate it, but stop. We need a side reference again. Oh, here we go. It is straight, like flatter than I thought. Okay. There we go. And then unfortunately, I inflated her teeth. Oop, what are we doing? We need to de-inflate. There we go. That's better. All right. I'm gonna take a small break from her face. There's still more improvements I can do, but she's pretty gorgeous already. And let's get some hair and let's make sure we actually fit this onto her head. It's got that flat mouth syndrome. No. Okay, I would like to fix this first if I can. It's the teeth, y'all. I mean, it's a couple of things, but the teeth are not helping. Okay, my smile. You don't really see my bottom teeth at all. Okay. I don't want to give her like bunny teeth, you know? I feel like the standards for teeth are ridiculous. It's like there's like one right answer apparently. I just don't subscribe to that. Alright, we're gonna fix this. What's going on? You usually go with like a slight overbite, so the top lip's gonna be out further than the bottom, generally speaking. Also, maybe I should separate her teeth. This is what I'm talking about. If I separate her teeth, like actually open her mouth just a touch. Wow, nice little snore, Maverick. Isn't that cute? It's gonna be really cute. Reaper says, I like my big ass front teeth. Thank you. I love that. Heck yeah. More of that. Because I'm like, yeah, they're your teeth. All right, I think where I went wrong a little bit is I didn't bring the corners of her mouth like into her head, like this direction. See what I mean? That's gonna help. Oh, now I made her mouth smaller though. We don't want that. All right, we got some work to do here, but ooh, that kind of helped. Leave it alone. Work on her hair. Okay, we'll come back to it. So I do braids the same way that I do normal hair, literally. You just do a base mesh instead of doing strands of hair. Like, let me show ya. So instead of doing hair like this, you just do a braid. Literally. It's like the same thing. It's the same curve brush, same technique. I've heard before, like, a reason why some artists don't practice more like black hairstyles is because they're more difficult. And like, it's the same technique. So if you hear that, it's just because they're not doing it. It's not because it's a difficulty thing. And it's like, well, what about like a proper like afro? I'm like, well, yeah, it's still the same thing. If you're like short hair, you know what I mean? You just do a bunch of like coils that stick out, and if you inflate them slightly, they 3D print beautifully. Speaking of, I want to show you my favorite. I did a fairy, and oh my god, she's so cute, and she has an afro. No, that's the one with just like classic straight hair. Where are you? Where are you? Okay. I can't remember what I named her because I have like garden fairy, fairy druid, fairy fairy, or was it a pixie? Son of it. When did I make all these models? I want to know where this model is. I don't know where it is. I released it recently. Is it Leaf Fairy? I'm gonna have to go find it. Y'all that have been on my Patreon for a while, you know what model I'm talking about. If you can tell me the name of my own model, that'd be so cool. Sean's, it's Autumn Sprite. Hell yeah. Someone give Sean's literally a million poing. Yes! Check her out! Isn't she cute? And like this pose, please. And I have a 3D printed picture of this too. There's the render. I don't have the picture in here though. Of course I don't. But anyway, and I'm not trying to get on my high horse about this. I'm just saying like difficulty is not a reason to not make different looking characters. It's the same. Oh my god, she's so cute. Also, Empress, I know this is a question you'll have me later of how to do a fro. So here you go. You do a bunch of coils, literally, and inflate them. and it will look amazing. Reaper's like, $1 million, you get 50. Micah, are you shaming yourself in general? Oh, you are. You are doing the Santa smile. Just. I don't see the problem. All I see is a handsome guy with a magnificent beard. I was thinking the same thing. That's a rockin' beard, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm just saying, I don't show my teeth really when smiling. That's fair. That's fair. Aloha says, can we get a happy hour afro tutorial, Mia? I'll do you one better. I can try to find the brush that I used to build this up. All right. I'm gonna move on before I forget. Oh yeah, and these are all individual strands too. So I can like move them about and get a looser look too. All right, what am I doing? Oh, we need a hairline fix. There you go. I want this to kind of frame her ear, and I can adjust the length. I'm gonna grab the base I have. This is like the cap that's under her hair, and I'll use that to kind of forge this hairline here to blend with her braids. Also, this is not symmetrical. Why? There you go. Mirror and weld. Let's bring these braids up to be part of the party. Ooh, I don't know if I want to mirror and weld that though. Mm-mm. I don't know if I'm gonna do like this widow's peak look. Texturing this will help, so I am gonna just run over this with a little damn standard detail. That will kind of help it blend into her scalp too. Literally just gonna like strike through with this damn, okay, hello, with this damn standard brush, and you'll see. I'm gonna show you a really cool trick here in a second. All right, so now we have all these lines. I can push them down, and when I pull them forward, see this? It looks like actual like hair strands in the way that our hair actually looks. And if you're like, there's too much of like a gap, all you have to do is run the inflate brush over it, and it'll kind of bring them together. Oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Even if her smile is a little funny right now. We're just not done. I'm really enjoying this model. I knew I was gonna love this one too. There's just a lot of really cool components. I'm gonna keep the hair kind of sitting off her chest a little bit here because I'm probably gonna change her chest a little bit. The hair, every strand of hair here is a separate polygroup. All of it. I mean, you can make it one, or you can auto group it, but the cap is separate. Always. And you can be a separate subtool, separate polygroup, same thing effectively. Look at the link in the reference chat. Found this resource over the weekend for everyone. Drag the face top left into a position you want, then select female or male and get references of people at that exact angle. Excuse me? What? Female between the ages of 30, 60, smiling. I don't know what the difference of these ones are. What does this mean? Emotions, happy. And I don't know what these are. I'm gonna click search. Oh, it's gonna populate those. Oh my gosh, cool. And then I can turn the head here. Bruh. See, this is algorithms and like AI learning for the win. Bruh. Can I get like weird angles? It has a harder time with that. That makes sense. I was immediately like, how do I break it? This one should have some good ones though. Yes. Also, this is like exactly what I needed. Oh my god, cheese in. We're gonna just yoink. I'm gonna grab you and you're gonna go back in my reference. Sean says the color of the outfits makes me think the avatar looks airbender. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I can't stop. I can't help it. Aloha, please put this into resources and inspo, and then I can pin that message. And listen, there's people of all shapes and sizes, but I don't think I should put her in the itty bitty titty committee with me. I think we need to add a little more pasta here. And therefore, a tiny bit more belly. Perfect. Just a little bit. Need to fix this hairline still. There's a lot of subtleties for this design. Yeah, paint, it is a separate subtool right now, but if you have separate poly groups, you can make them subtools anytime by just masking and then split mask points. Wait, where did this hair come from? I have this in my asset library. Good question. I think I originally got the base from Natalie, made a bunch of them, and then I paid her for some, and then I modified them. I have the brush that we used to build these. Excuse me. There we go. You can use like any braid brush though to make a hairstyle like this. And then I've been further modifying this even more so. So I'm probably gonna save this new version I'm making as my updated copy. I feel like I kind of gave her a receding hairline by accident. No, that's fine. And then I would like longer braids. Stretch. Empress says, ah, dang. You might have missed my comment earlier, but it's the exact same process. Instead of using a hairbrush like this, that has like strands like this, you literally would just go to load brush. I know I already have a braid brush. Type in braid brush. And instead of using that curve, you would use this. Like literally. See? So it's the exact same process. That's what I was saying earlier, where I'm like, don't let anyone tell you like they're not doing... Well, okay, animating black hair is different, like making a card for that versus 3D sculpting, but if you're doing a sculpture especially, there's no reason why you can't do this. Oh, about the point count? Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about that. Because wherever it like overlaps, you can do remesh by union and it will simplify that. But as far as like, no, when you're making it like game ready, that does get a lot trickier. All right, we're gonna stop this problem by going from continuous Z to once Z because it keeps like grabbing onto her head. I think having a couple braids up front would be really cute. Aloha says, for the hair bob, do you literally just create a ball and wrap the strands around it? Literally. I will extract and same way I do clothes. I will like extract and do it that way. Do I want these strands here? I don't know. I don't want to cover her cute face. What if I just did one side? Yeah, that is cute as heck. What? Empress, I hope that made more sense just now when I like updated, like I'm building up her hair right now. I guess to make it like game ready, you would just make it more like a texture. I think that would make sense. I am not certain, but that's something that you want to learn. I can look into that for you and give you resources that would make sense, because I know this is a problem that's been solved. Just Lingle said, Mia, if you went bald, would you rock the baldness or go with hats most of the time? I feel a friend in each category, but I'm curious about you. Oh, full bald. 100%. I mean, I got nothing wrong with having like a nice wig or some fun hats. I'll probably do both, but yeah, I'd have no problem with that. I'd be more devastated if I didn't have eyebrows or eyelashes. That would be really hard for me. Don't get me wrong. I love my hair. I love the fluff. It's a big part of me. I love it. I love it. But I have a decently shapely head. I would know because I've had my hair short enough as a pixie that I was pretty much bald at times. And yeah, I had no problem with rocking the short hair. But if it was like proper alopecia, so I didn't have like eyebrows or lashes, damn, that'd be frustrating. I'd probably get like eyebrow tattoos and then wear fake lashes. Bald me, I would be powerful. Yes. Oh my god, she is so cute. Ah. I kind of want to give her dimples. Because a lot of the ladies in my references have dimples. I don't know why people don't like dimples. I feel like it's people that have them don't. I have one. Just on this side. I don't know, I don't have them on the other side. I don't make the rules. Okay, Empress said something here that's really important, and I need all my students to embody this, please. Empress says, that would be great, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Here's the important one. I would rather learn to go all out with sculpting everything and optimize later. Thank you. Yes, that is the correct answer. I have so many students that are trying to optimize, and I'm like, you can't even sculpt, honey. Or my favorite is people that want to sell stuff and make money, and I'm like, sell what? What product? You have not done the art yet. Don't get ahead of yourself. Reaper says, I have 3 dimples. I know the odds of you doing like a face reveal are fucking 0, but oh, I wish I could see that. That sounds adorable. All right, we are getting some lines up in here. Lines are cute. Lines are your friends. Do not make perfectly flat faces, y'all. Don't do it. Okay, she still has bubble teeth. And I don't mean that they're big. I mean like they're literally inflated. I need to fix that later. I don't know. I feel like I've met people with kind of rounded teeth. I don't know. She's looking so cute. Please. She's adorable. Micah says, I have a cleft chin over here. If that counts as a dimple. I cover it with my beard so it looks less like a butt. Hey. Don't hate on cleft chins, okay? Anything that is literally, I would write down as like visual interest as an artist, I'm like, that's a win. I've already given you guys the spiel though of like, I promise there's someone out there that thinks that you're hot. There are artists, such as myself. We value different a lot. Individual features are to be celebrated. I'm not even trying to be like, ooh, body positive. I'm like, no, I'm straight up, I'm like, it's a nice secondary feature you got there. The way I am not joking at all. All right, Paint says, Mia, how do you make a strand visible but the other polygroup subtool? I'm having a stroke. How do you make a strand visible but the other polygroups and subtool invisible? What you do to isolate, you hold down Command and Shift. On Windows, that's Control. So Command, Shift, hold them down, click. That's it. This is so important. If you want to show everything, Command, Shift, click somewhere else. If you want to hide that one, it's always Command, Shift, okay? Command, Shift. Just keep that held down the whole time. You can double click on something to hide just that one piece. You can show everything by clicking off to the side. And then you can use this in combination with masking, which is just holding down Command or Control and clicking and just masking that one piece. This is like such a powerful little workflow. Make sure you know how to do it. It's very important. A tooth gap? Oh my God. Yes. Love me a tooth gap. Come here. If you want tooth gap, I'll make it happen. Just a little bit, not even like a ton. Oh my God. Yes. That makes that so much more joyful. I don't know why. I don't make the rules. Yeah, Empress says, okay, Mia, so the marbled veins, what's the approach? Some kind of crack brush and poly paint gold, or is that too synthetic? Yeah, you know, here's what I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna just go in with a mask brush, and I think I'm gonna just like manually, here, we're gonna turn off the tablet feature possibly, so this is just, no, this is, never mind. We're gonna use the mask brush, and I'm just click and drag, and I'm gonna start just like scribbling out some shapes. Because to make this look pretty without looking horrifying, girl, I don't know. I don't know is my current answer. This is me actively figuring it out. Kind of just gonna scribble for a second. Kind of going with like longer lines than I would if it was actually cracked rock. Now I'm going to invert it, throw this over, I'm gonna deflate those lines, and then pick a gold that will be my friend. Okay, that looks pretty. Kind of like that. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Good question. And then when I turn off poly paint, she'll look like this. So that's still gonna work really well. And I will have this crawl up into her face and stuff. I just have to make sure she doesn't look diseased. So to prevent it from looking diseased, we wanna minimize the amount of like veiny scribbliness. Like if I want gross, we're gonna do this. See how that's kind of like, oh my God. See what I mean? Looking a little diseased. We want sweeping lines that contour her arms and look kind of almost like filigree, and it'll have a similar effect because that looks way less nasty than like little farty line. So yes. Hello, Secret Talks. Welcome, you're new. How'd you make the hair? So I didn't do it on this stream, but I can tell you how. You make a little hair blob cap, kind of like this. And if you don't know how to do that, you literally just mask the head like that. So you mask and extract, and that's how you get hair blob. Hair blob. And then from this, you start building up the hair. I'm using a curve brush. This is a free braid brush I found online. And then literally, you can build this up. See that strand right there? And I built this up one piece at a time. See? Just do it a bunch of times. Study some references so you know the hair flow. So there's a couple like, okay, we're gonna do more talking about this hair because a lot of people are asking about it and I want you guys to know. So we're gonna do a little screenshot here so I can show you. I look at this as separate groups. Don't get bogged down into the individual pieces, okay? So we have, this is the top section, and I kind of treated that as its own thing. And then I also have the flowing area that's down right here, okay? So that's the same. And then there's the back of her hair here, which you can kind of count as the same section. And then last but not least, we have these little detail pieces right here. That's the last thing they added. These little detail pieces, don't worry about that until you have the rest of it, okay? But notice how like the direction of this hair here is flowing differently. This looks... Oh wow, we're having a meltdown, aren't we? Come on, software. There you go. These all flow in this direction and come up to the top of her scalp. The direction's really important because you're dealing with a curved brush. See this? It all swoops back and I put this little bun on the back. And these all flow downwards, okay? Very important. Ah, thank you, Empress. Oh my goodness, this is great. Ignore the high top on Jeff the Shark. But the blade from Marvel Rivals has a clean braid hairstyle that works great with Mia's method. Oh heck yeah, that would absolutely work too. Very good. And then Gogo's, oh good, you're still here. Gogo says, this is the first time I got a live sculpt with you, Mia, and your content makes me want to sculpt. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yes, do it. It's super, super fun. I made it my whole business, my whole job. You don't maybe have to go that far, but you should do it. It's really fun. I'm almost doing it with actual clay because I don't have 3D sculpting software. That's fair. ZBrush is very expensive. So if you don't have ZBrush on iPad, I think is $10 a month, but you have to have a $1,000 iPad, right? Otherwise it's $40 a month. I know, it's a riot. But you can get the basics of sculpting. If you can get through the first bit of like Blender UI, you can have fun and do some of these things. Blender is just really powerful, so there's a lot of noise you have to get through first, but it is doable and that's free. Empress says, since we're doing hair, how'd you do the bun without pulling your hair out? You guys are just making this a hair tutorial. I love it, I love it. Okay, we're gonna do the bun tutorial. We're gonna do append. Again, whenever you're doing hair, start with a base, okay? I'm gonna say that a million times. We're gonna do white so it's really easy to contrast, and I'll put black braids on top of it. Okay, that immediately didn't work. 1 second, let me paint the sphere. There we go. All right. So, it depends how you want the hair to flow. The way that I would do it, obviously I don't have braids, I have hair like this, but I would take my hair and I would twist it, and then I would loop it in the back to make like a bun, and then fluff it out. And that's how I would do a bun. So that's what I think about when I do this. So speaking of the twisting method, I would click a point right here. We're gonna have to do 2 things to make our braid brush work here. So by default, when you do a braid brush, it will move. That's gonna drive us crazy, right? You don't wanna do that. You wanna make sure it locks into place. So let's edit that brush so it works for us, not against us. Go to stroke, curve modifier, 1 second. Sorry, I always forget where it is. It's stroke, curve, lock, start. Again, that's in the stroke menu, under curve, this little drop-down menu, lock, start, make sure it's highlighted, okay? Lois taking notes. So, okay, all right. And then next, it's really important that for picker, you have continuous Z. That means it's gonna wrap your shape. If it's once Z, it's only gonna like touch once and then do its own thing. Continuous is gonna make it wrap. All right, so we click and drag, and now it's continue that shape. So the way you continue a curve brush is you kind of float next to it. See that little red line that pops up? I know it's small. You're gonna have to pay attention real close. There it is. See? Once that's there, click, and then you can continue. Otherwise, it will not work. I know it's farty and sensitive. I don't make the rules, but I play by them. All right. And then next up, we're gonna just keep continuing that line. As you continue with a curve brush, it gets more upset with you, I'm not gonna lie. Just stick with it. All right. And then obviously we have a bunch of gaps, right? So that doesn't look like this one. You have two options. One, you can simply make your braid larger by holding down spacebar and increasing your draw size. But it doesn't look very good, does it? So what I like to do is I'll simply like split mask points so it's its own thing. So we have this little spiral. I will duplicate it and then I'll just like move it over a little bit to fill in those gaps. I'm just using my move brush. And if you're like, Mia, that's not technically correct, I don't care. It looks great, okay? And that's pretty much the method I used here. As you can tell, the ends of this braid brush get really thin, which kind of sucks. So something else you can also do, I'll show you a second technique to kind of help blend these gaps here. And this is a really cool one. You guys have seen me do it before. Grab your braid brush, click and drag a line, and then hold shift. Check this out. See? It's gonna wrap that whole shape automatically for you. Like most things when you're sculpting, it's very rare that you're not gonna use a combination of techniques, so just keep that in mind. Now that we have this shape here, I can even do a mirror and weld, assuming it wants to play nice with me. To kind of build up those shapes more. Again, it's a lot of finessing, but do you guys have the general idea of how I kind of put all that together? It's really worth taking your time and doing it correct once, and then you can put it on a bunch of hairstyles. So now I can put this little bun in all kinds of places. Does that make sense? Gogo says, hello all. Yes, I will look into Blender. This does look very fun. Good. Learning, sometimes not very fun. If you had the dough to spend, you can do ZBrush, and then I teach. It's only $1 a day to learn from me, so it's 30 bucks a month, and then I directly mentor you. However, you gotta have ZBrush, and that is some big bucks, and I totally get that. I just want to make sure that like you're prepared, because learning can be really frustrating, but it's worth it. There is a classic that everyone has done in Blender, which is from the Blender Guru, the donut tutorial. It's a lot of time. Just kick back, watch his videos, learn with him, and you'll learn how to like navigate and all the basics, and then you start playing with and doing your own stuff. Empress says, oh, that's super doable. I can make like a whole library of clip-on buns. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That makes me very happy. Good. You can do it. Empress says, does this trick with the curve modifier not work with this brush? When you hit FH, turn on size, and alter the curve fall off. Oh, the taper on size? It does work. So I've never tried that. Okay. For those that were like, what are you guys saying? I'm gonna explain in a second. So you see how this tapers automatically? You can build that into your brush by going to curve modifier, size. Can I just turn that off? Thank you, Empress. I literally taught you how to do that and did not apply it to this own. Wow. Somebody give Empress some embarrassment point from me. Thank you. Sometimes when you teach and you do stuff enough times, you like forget your own basics. My God. Wow. Good job, Empress. Also, get out. Unbelievable. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Alright, we're gonna do some fabric folds before Empress runs me out of a job. It's fine. No, we're not. We're gonna see if I have a violin. Oh, good. Very good. Thank you. Aloha has banned. It's happened. Empress finally got a ban. It's in a very important moment. If you hang around long enough, you eventually will get temporarily banned. It's all in good love and good fun. This is a crowning moment for Empress. It's usually like a 10-second ban, don't worry. Sounds good, Shans. Enjoy your nap. Oh look, I literally have this this instrument, like, exactly. When did I make this? Oh, for Rafiki Humblebrag. It's a dodo bird bard. I remember. Wow, coming in clutch. I did name it just upright bass, which is pretty much what this is. Come here. Stop being what you're doing. Oh my god. There we go. That is a cello. It needs more strings. I know, honey, but we are in the 3D printed land, and at some point, it'll just be a little blob at this size. Will we be more accurate? But we gotta be within reason. Oh, it looks like Paint's gonna fight me with their special crazy cursed image. Oh, I love it. What was the entire clothing done in ZBrush? It looks great. It was, thank you. Though I am learning Marvelous Designer on the side, and I'll be doing tutorials on that when I have that down. But no, clothes are easy and clothes are super fun. I made the shirt on stream a little bit earlier, but essentially you just mask the shape that you want and then extract. And that's it. I like to ZRemesh a few times at half to kind of get it nice and clean. And then I add thickness later using dynamic subdivisions. And if that made no sense to you, ask questions. You're new, Secret Talk, so I don't know how much you already know. So I don't want to bore you. Let's get some fabric folds going here. I like using the standard brush. There's lots of fancy brushes you can buy, and I do love me some fancy brushes. But for the most part, you can get the job done real well just by using the basics. Everything you see pinned right here are my go-tos. So honestly, this is still a little extra. The ones I really use all of the time are Damp Standard, Standard, Move, and Smooth. I can sculpt pretty much anything with those brushes. All right, we're doing fabric folds. So there's gonna be any point where there's like a moment's of tension, we're gonna draw lines between those 2 points. So across her chest and then around her shoulders. I imagine this is a thinner, gauzier top. So again, thin fabric folds. Thick fabric, like a wool jacket, thick fabric folds, okay? We're gonna add like a little bit of swoop here. I'm a little annoyed that it looks so low res at 500,000 points, but you know what? Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Ooh, I actually want to add some seams really quick here. And to do that, we're simply going to use the Damp Standard brush. These are just things that add like some visual interest. I'm kind of just playing with shapes here. Just think about how the shirt would have been sewn together. We can add some like little princess darts too. That would be nice. Don't be afraid to redo your lines, and I like having lazy radius on to kind of smooth out my the stroke here. Oh, it's awesome. Kingdom Death model at Gen Con. Cursed M3DM? No, I kind of love it. That's freaky. That's great. You know I like me some grimdark stuff. All right, and now adding fabric folds. It looks like nonsense. Essentially, I am just adding and removing material. So I'm doing it quickly by just holding down an Option. That will be Alt on Windows. And then I smooth where the fabric folds start and end. There's like little folds in tension. Let's see how that's looking. Very good. And then I'll turn off symmetry whenever I am crossing the center line. Otherwise, it looks like this, and this looks like nonsense, you know? So we're gonna swoop from the left to right, and then back. I'm just adding and removing material. I'm kind of rotating the shirt at an angle that my hand will have a better motion. You don't want to like just draw from your wrist and fingers. You want to kind of like move your shoulder. You'll get a smoother line. Oh, it's water shack time. Yeah, I haven't had any water. Thank you. I don't know why the alert didn't pop up. Oh, Empress, I so agree. Empress is like, Marvelous Designer has been working its way and recommended. I've always wanted to make my own clothes in real life, so thought being able to turn real life patterns into things for characters, yes. Yeah, that's about why I love it so much too. I haven't done any sewing in a long time, but I have messed with making my own patterns and whatnot, and it's just like that. Marvelous Designer is super cool. There we go. See, we're getting some texture there. It's looking a lot nicer. And then for the chest, it would probably pull most right from her armpit. So we'll put some fabric folds that look like that. Not her armpit, like the top, it's like armpit-esque. If you have no idea where a fabric fold is supposed to go, and you're just sculpting like a normal like shirt, like go put on that shirt, go look in the mirror, go move, and like see how it bends. There's nothing better than that. I think sometimes it's easy to always try to Google references when it's like, you have these things at home. And it'll probably make more sense to you too. Almost every pose you guys have seen me make over the years for these characters, like I have done in real life at some point. I stood in front of a mirror and I just moved. This is probably getting a little fabric fold heavy. I tend to overfold because I design for 3D printing and I just think it's more fun to paint. Oh, it did. I was just preoccupied. Thank you. Secret says, I started Marvelous. It is very great to make clothes, but a pain to learn and the sewing system is kind of confusing. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm just starting to learn and like, I will frequently, like I will sew one side, no problem. And when I sew the seams on the other side, it will like twist the fabric. And I know you're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, why is that happening? And for now, I do think for time per effort, I can definitely get good enough fabric folds myself really quickly in ZBrush. But the Marvelous equivalent, it is way better than the results that I get. I am just faster. But as I start building up an asset library of stuff to use, it will be worth my time for sure. That looks really nice. Oh yeah, the happy hour mug, we are not bubbling anymore because we just have it. Happy hour needs a necklace. Oh my god. Because I just haven't moved on. I'm just keeping us in Tavern Keeper's Craft Purgatory because I'm having fun. Oh, you guys want to move on? Too bad. I'm gonna put some daisies in her hair. What does a daisy look like? I think they're white. With a yellowy orange center. Yep, that's a flower. That exists somewhere. I think daisies are the way to go for this character. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be so cute. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this pose with her sitting. I'm not thrilled about that, but I'm gonna make it work. So whenever I'm adding flowers and details like this, I have them as a separate subtool, and I'm not really very pressed on how well they're fitting to the character, because I'm gonna move all this crap once she's posed. All this is gonna get redone. It doesn't take very long. So this is more like experimenting with shapes and details. That's why you won't see me bother with the back of the design right now. Because again, I'm just gonna have to redo it later. Especially because she's gonna be sitting. This is all going out the window. Okay, having little daisies on the toe of her shoes I think is kind of tacky, and I love it. I love that. That is super cute. Would moss be a good motif? Yes, absolutely. The daisies look cute. Aw, thank you. Having a lot of fun with y'all today. It's a good day. I'm gonna paint her nails really quick. Paint, 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 paint. Okay, Ricky is starving. You need food.
Hungry.
Okay, yeah, it's probably about time for break. I'm gonna get a fun render on here, and then we're gonna take a little break to eat. I encourage y'all to grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll come back for happy hour. I have a ton of student work to get through today, so y'all are in for a treat. It's a good stream. Ricky, he's sitting next to me. All right, let me save this. We don't call it Genasi because I don't want to be sued. We're gonna go with Earthborn. Earthborn Bard. Cool. And then let's get some fun renders. Oh, I didn't put a base in here yet. I want a base. And not that base. I mean like the thing a character sits on. Okay. I need the flower, grass, simple. Thank you. Y'all knew I was gonna pick this base. How cute is this? Ugh. You can tell I like something a lot because I start sounding disgusted. I don't know, it's just a quirk that I have. So I'm just getting this set up for a nice little render. I like to have one that's kind of close up. And then one that shows the whole character. Awesome. And then for an easy render style here, y'all know I like to radial overlay and preview AO. Sometimes they look good, sometimes the other one looks better. Let's see how this goes. Ah, that's nice. Let's do a little screenshot to cover up whatever y'all are putting in the Discord right now. Oh my God. Speaking of, to our new people especially, y'all are more than welcome to join our Discord. We are pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Oh, she's so cute. Awesome, awesome. All right, y'all, I'm going on break. I'll be gone for about, I don't know, 15-ish minutes. I'll be back when I'm back. Like the stream if you guys are enjoying it. It really helps me out. If you're really having a good time, a reminder to subscribe. I stream 4 to 5 days every single week. So most days of the week. And this is kind of what we do. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hello and welcome to Happy Hour. It is time to review student work, and we have quite a bit to go through today. So, first things first, I would like a roll call. Empress, Just Lingual, Chicken, Paint, and Otaka. If you are here, just let me know in the chat, and then I don't have to put a timestamp. We have a lot of people to review today. I like it. I like it a lot. Also, the Kickstarter is going splendidly. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Again, I know we just ran a campaign, so I'm not feeling hurt at all if you were lagging. Nope, I'll get you on the next one. That is A-okay. We are getting pretty close to getting funded, yet again, on stream. Pretty awesome. So, thank you guys so much. Empress is here. Alrighty. Let's see what she mentioned me. Empress says, hello Mia, no work to provide for review, but I'd like some visual examples on how to approach face work. Point 1, I know clay buildup for the brow ridge with some smoothing. Absolutely, it can be clay buildup, you could use move, you could use standard, all that's fine. There is a macro to append some eyes. Is there? I'm not, but I don't know the relative size the eyes should be in the socket. As far as that goes, it has to do with the proportions of your face. So like your eyes, for example, the distance in between is one eyeball. And then generally the distance from the corner of your eye to the outside of your head is half an eyeball, roughly. On that note, I have only seen examples of skulls getting the socket carved in. How do I do that with flesh already on the model? Well, it depends. Are you sculpting a face or are you sculpting a skull? You don't need to sculpt a skull and then sculpt skin on top of it. So I wouldn't worry about that. I think you are overthinking a little bit, and that's A-okay. Like you have a mesh here that's been pretty smoothed down, so it's a little trickier to work with. I would literally just append spheres, not onto this mesh. They're their own mesh, this new subtool, and then put spheres right here. This face is starting to lose some bony landmarks, for example, like the eyes are pretty flat. You're kind of missing this like eye fat piece on top, which is kind of tricky to do, don't get me wrong. Lips, I assume, is move tool, inflate/clay buildup for a fuller thickness look. I'd be careful with inflate. Inflate can betray you. I like to end up using move and standard, actually, to go back and forth. Clay buildup is fine as well. But for the most part, yeah, move. Grabbing that Cupid's bow, keep it real low res. I found this putting to practice is leaving me. I'm more of a visual learner. Okay. Yeah, this is anatomy for sculptors. So, this is really complicated. This little green piece especially on top. Let me try to simplify this even further. I would literally the most important parts here are the eyeball, upper eyelid, lower eyelid. Focus on that for now. And then if you want bonus points, get this like eye bag on top. Don't worry about all this down here. It is important, but this is actually quite detailed. I don't love this for a beginner. Don't love that for a beginner. That is complicated. Let me type anatomy for sculptors, eyeball. See if I can find something a little easier to break down. Because they have a bunch, and that one's honestly kind of complicated. It's fine. I like this a little better for where you're at right now. Are we not going to scroll? No, it just lives up there where we can't see it. Oh my god. Whatever. I just want to open this image and nothing else. It's Ricky.
It's me.
Jesus. Here we go. Just look at like this eye bag that you're seeing down here is your eyeball. When I poke this, my whole eyeball moves. So that's, just keep in mind where those shapes are coming from, but don't get lost in the sauce. You're gonna have enough of a time figuring out how to do an eyelid. They're thicker than you think. That's like the tip I'll give you. I think you're just in paralysis. Just accept that your first face, you're gonna be like, what is that? You're gonna need to do it a few times. And that's A-okay. But get some eyeballs in there. Yeah. Did you just throw up?
No.
Sorry, my dog's being really gross. Okay. Empress said, yes. Yeah, I figured since I haven't seen someone make it, just a lot of stills from skulls. I'm gonna give you a demo right now, because I can already tell you're a little locked up. I'm gonna show you how to do it. We're gonna grab a basic mesh in ZBrush, because it's got kind of that smeary face thing going on too. This looks pretty comparable to the face that you have right now, right? We're gonna do a full little demo for lovely Empress right here. Here we go, low subdiv, no subdivision levels. All right, first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna insert some spheres. That's about the right size. And how do I know that? Well, the trick I said earlier. Let me show it to you, because I kind of gave you a rule. This eyeball has some good things going for it. See, if I put it in the middle, oh damn, I did a good job. It's one eyeball apart. And when you go to the side here, and if I cut this sphere in half, that's about half. Check it out. That pretty much gets you to the edge of the face. There you go. So yes, we have our eyeballs. That's the size. And then we're gonna put them into the head. Make sure you have them up a decent amount. All right, now we got all kinds of problems here. And the biggest one is the fact that our eyelids just like don't exist. So yeah, it's not great. This base mesh is fine. Like your base mesh is kind of gonna limit you too. You can use damn standard, just be careful. So we're gonna first build up the bottom lid. I'm using Option, that's Alt on Windows. And then again on top. That's kind of starting the eyelid, but still not great. You're gonna wanna go again underneath without using Option. And again, go up way high. And then you can press number 1 if you like it to really push that in, okay? And then you can kind of bring this little tear duct going on. And then if you wanna be really extra, you can actually kind of like mask this area here and use a move brush to start to get that like overlapping effect, okay? But that's more or less how you like define some eyes. We're kind of doing speed mode here. And then same with the nose. You're gonna want to define, oop, the laser radius is really high. Define those nostrils a bit with damn standard, and I'll even inflate them so you actually have some volume and a nice little crease happening there. With the lips, you're gonna define them. Again, damn standard's your best friend here. Holding down Option, that's Alt on Windows, to define those shapes here. And then again, if you use inflate, your mouth's gonna look like that, which in your case, if you're actually sculpting someone that's black, that can do a decent job. I still think it looks more textured and nice when you come in with clay tubes constant or clay, and you actually build it up because you have different little fat pads on your lip. I just think that looks nicer than just doing like a little bubble. You can do a little bit of both if you want to, and then kind of smooth that out. Is that helping on how you're going to define that face? Because you do have to build up those forms, and you just don't overthink it. Empress says, oh my god, that's really smart. Great, I think we had a breakthrough. That's all I want. And that's going to be a good, if you get to a spot that looks anything like this, you're good enough to stop, honestly. My last tip for you, Empress, is really pay attention to the thickness of the eyelid. This is already, it is too thin. Even that is too thin. I'd grab Move and Back Face Mask and pull that out a little bit. Dude, eyelids are so much thicker than you think. Like, seriously. I'd rather you have way too much eyelid than not enough, okay? Also, I made that look easier than it is, and it still looks okay. I'm just letting you know. Eyes and eyelids, ooh, they're sensitive, okay? So if you do it and you're like, ah, it looks cursed, that's okay. Just try it again. All right. We're gonna jump back to our nice little scene instead of this little smushy face. And then I will review the next student. I missed the roll call. Just Lingual did not check back in, so I'm assuming that they're not here. All right, Just Lingual said, I watched this module they recently watched about Dynamesh. I don't really have much to show at the moment. I'll probably think of a project for practice later. I just played around with Dynamesh. That's great. Empress says, yes, I'm ready to roll. Heck yeah. I'll give you a mini assignment. I said I'll give you a little assignment for direction, optional. I'm gonna give them a little plan and create assignment, which limits Just Lingual to a few subtools. Just Lingual is pretty advanced. They're a really good 2D artist already. So sometimes giving them more restrictions makes them produce better work, I've noticed. Something real simple and small. Don't think polished. There we go. Less than 5 subtools. Don't go crazy. Next up is Chicken, who I know is not here today. Alrighty. They said, thanks, I'll go through that stream. Also, Miss, do you have anything that would help me with blocking out characters or making sure that I get the reference right? I'll do a little tag because I can talk about that. Alrighty, and our timestamp is 2:42. Alright, hello Chicken. So you're asking, do I have anything that help with blocking out characters or making sure I get the reference right? So if you are referencing something to recreate, let's say you're looking at like a favorite character and you want to like copy that, that's a little easier because you can just throw that reference behind your scene and just turn on see-through mode and literally line it up. How are you looking? But if you're using references the way that they're usually intended to, which is like more so what I'm doing here today. Let me show you what I got. So these are my references I have for that lovely Earth Genasi bard I made. So there she is. And here are my references. So it's like, how do I know that I am utilizing the shapes here? It's hard to reference the whole thing at once, right? So you can kind of break it down. Like, so for her face, I wanted to make sure that I was really capturing these features correctly. So I'm looking at like the shape of the nose and identifying them to simple shapes. So every one of these noses I have here are kind of like a wider triangle. I can kind of like even trace over them and identify that shape. And I can line up with mine. Do I have that? Honestly, after looking at mine here versus references, I have the tip of her nose too high. It's not really coming down the way that it should. So there you go. There's an example of that. But as far as like, that is part of the block out process. Just think simple shapes and how they relate to each other. I'm a big fan of measuring everything in terms of heads. So I'll see like, for example, like your head is a unit of measurement. So generally speaking, your shoulders, you can fit a head on either side. So you're 3 heads wide. And then like for a more regal, more heroic proportions, they'll be like 8 heads tall. But if they're smaller, like they're gonna be like a dwarf or a halfling proportions, they'll only be 4 to 5 heads, or actually 3 to 4 heads tall. So you can pick a unit measurement like that. I hope that gets you in a good direction. If you have more questions, please feel free to ask. You know I love to answer. Happy art. Next up, we got Paint. All right, is Paint here? I don't see them in the chat, so I will give them a timestamp. That's going to be at the 2:45 mark, pretty much on the dot. Actually on the 30. There we go. All right. Hello, Paint. I see you have some great progress here on your character. You said still working on the greaves and now the gloves. I did micro mesh for chainmail and it looks okay. Might maybe change it to a more manual version. Added belt and loincloth. Any feedback would be great. Have a nice day. Oh, you're always so nice. I think the chainmail's already looking quite good. They are different on each side. I don't know if you've noticed that. These have an upward orientation and these ones are pointing down. So that might be why you were having a bit of trouble. Also, you're getting a bit of this bubble effect. This loincloth here, it is not single-sided. This is why I like single-sided. So all of the fabric I have here, see how it's looking a lot sharper and cleaner on the edges? That's because I got that base shape looking real nice, single-sided, just like the dress sculpt with me that you already completed. And you're like, well, I wanted to add material to it. That's fine, but you want to use dynamic subdiv and thickness. Otherwise, you get this real rounded edge. I like that the pauldrons are coming off a little bit. I do think you can improve the pauldron shape in the future. The way that they're laying, maybe you have a reference you can show me. Maybe it's one that you're looking for, style, like it's a style that you're wanting. For the most part, pauldrons come up a lot more. Let me do a little sketch over. Let's get a normal zoom here. Ooh, Command 2. I'm getting used to this new software I have here to do like little shortcuts and whatnot. For now, let's just make this bigger. It's like, no, I will not be larger. I am this size. Jesus Christ. Oh, that cracks me up. There we go. Alrighty. So right now, your pauldron shape looks like this. And I feel like that is not a shape I'm used to seeing. Usually your pauldrons will look more like this. They kind of like bubble off. That's obviously really extreme. But this flatter look here is usually what's used for these pieces that tuck underneath. That looks quite good. I like that a lot. But for this, I would really review your references and see if you actually mean to have something that comes off the silhouette quite a lot more, okay? And again, I mentioned comments on this is looking a little bit blobby. The way that these belts sit too is kind of dragging the motion downwards. I'm not sure if you want to adjust that to have it hitch on top of his hip. Usually that's where they're going to grab. They're kind of grabbing like more around like his like lower butt almost. So it would seem like they would just slide off. I really like the shape that you have going up here. That's actually looking really nice. Once you get this little like shoe cover on, you're going to get a nicer shape. These are also looking really, really short. Usually these come a little closer up to the elbow mark, and then your fingers are getting a little small too. So the hands are looking a little smaller than usual. The layering you have happening here, oh, I love that. That's looking really, really good. We're getting more of that blob effect that's happening with this piece right here, so be careful with that, okay? Overall, looking really good. The belts are clean, by the way. I like that little edge detail you have. Good work. It's your first project. Implement as much or as little feedback as I gave. The most important thing is you keep working on it. Don't get bogged down in the details, okay? And then next up, we have Otaka. Grab a little timestamp for them as well. All right. Hello, Otaka. So I gave you the dressed assignment. You said, I'm done. The further down it goes, the worse it looks. But the top looks pretty decent, I'd say. That's almost positive. I'll take it. The top does look pretty good. Yeah. The reason why it doesn't look as good when you get further down is because your fabric folds are almost identically spaced apart. Okay? So let me show you. So I'm going to draw these lines out a little longer and exaggerate them. And you'll notice a trend here. The distance right here, we'll do it in a different color. It's almost exactly the same. Look, that one's a little longer, but it's pretty close. And fabric folds are not usually that uniform. You can really tell this with the stripes. So that's why you're not getting as organic of a look. But right here you like more because you kind of break it up a little bit. You have a little more variety. So if you wanted to make this look a little more varied, you would pick this point here at that hip where the fabric is swooshing away from, and then think about, gravity. So you'd have some fabric folds going straight down. There would be some that kind of pull because her hip is right there. For the most part, these fabric folds are going to actually obey by just gravity, and they're going to flow out that way. Does that make sense? That's a really good start though. Especially for first practice. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna. See, you did good on the back here. You started going more straight down off of her butt. That's great. All right. I like the little bit of practice that you did. At this point, Otaka, I'm just trying to get you to make more and more models, more and more practice before I feel comfortable to unleash you into project work. So you were probably going to do some more repeat assignments here. But it's not really repeat, it's just more practice. I want to make sure that I have introduced you to alphas though. I haven't. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, we're going to learn about alphas. We're going to get a new tool in your belt because these are super fun. Complete that, you're going to have a blast. And let me know if you have any questions. Oh, paint's back. I'm sorry. Tired. No worry. No worry at all. Keep on working, paint. I gave you a lot of really specific, kind of crunchy feedback. Pretty high level. As long as you're in the US. Sorry, Aloha. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel extra terrible because I told Aloha that we would have shipping and printed minis, and then I was like, but not for you. I didn't know. You guys are all doing fantastic. And circling back to paint really quick, I gave you a lot of like nitpicky feedback. You're doing really good, okay? I am expecting a lot from you, and I'm asking a lot. So if you're like, I don't want to redo anything, don't redo anything. You are not building any bad habits. You're doing great. And it's most important that you keep making art and you keep going, okay? The third time that I see you extrude a loincloth and it gets lumpy, I'll be like, okay, we're fixing that. But this is your first project. So don't go backwards, okay? Otaka is here. Hello, hello. Good. Ember said, being a visual learner is so difficult with most tutorials. They go on and on and on and show things I do not need right now. Girl, that has nothing to do with being a visual learner. That has to do with shit tutorials. I know what you're talking about. I hate that. They literally will like start sculpting a nose and then like go on this huge side tangent about like sinus infections. And you're like, what? Okay. Yeah. I could review Reaper's truck. No, but I will look at it. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my gosh. It looks like that one Pokemon. Fennec. I didn't play that generation like at all. We have a T-Ruck. I dig it. Blender is super cool. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing much to review yet. I'm like, just keep on going. It looks great. Oh, that is not a cute render. Ugh, God. Sometimes the lighting in ZBrush is just like garbage. And I'm like, no, not garbage. Thank you. Radial overlay. Why this isn't the default, I have no idea. Oh, good. Empress says project work has been the best thing ever. If life wasn't lifing, I'd probably be closer to done by now. And that is totally fine. I think you're doing great. I do. Also, every student I have thinks they're behind. It's so sweet. They're like, oh, I should be done, or I could be done. I'm like, you're great. But the process is such a joy. Empress, you are probably one of my most, if not the most positive student I have. You are a breath of fresh air. Thank you for being so positive. I am not like you. I am a horrible gremlin little student that is just frustrated and annoyed all the time. So thank you for not being like me. I love teaching you. Yeah. Oh good, Reaper has an update for their T-Ruck. Oh shit, it's got a camper on it and everything now. Cool, and a steering wheel. Oh, you were just saying that. Very cool. We need Fireheart for that. Wow, that was like an old memory. Any of y'all read Warriors? Fireheart? Okay. It's paint. Yeah, and you don't have to do pauldrons like that. Okay, Paint, since you're here, I don't know, I don't think I explained that well. And I don't like when I don't explain stuff well. I can do better than that. Oh look, that one looks just like the one that you did. See, I know it's a thing. There's a roundness to it usually. That looks like a gray warden. Anyway, yeah, so this piece is good. That's kind of what you have. But there's like this upward motion that usually has that we're missing on yours. Did you say Dynamesh in thickness? No Dynamesh. Dynamic subdivision levels. And you're right. I said that so fast that it was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to show it to you right now, Paint. So, if you have a single-sided mesh, just like you did in the dress tutorial, we're going to say this is a loincloth, okay? Bam. Just imagine that's a loincloth. And there's single-sided. See, it doesn't exist. To add thickness to this, you would go to Geometry, Dynamic Subdiv, click on Dynamic, and then scroll thickness over. See, and it'll start to happen. It will screw up your silhouette unless you put it to offset of -100. Do you see what's happening here? It affects what direction the thickness happens. By default, it extrudes from the front and the back, but I like for it to just extrude from the back. That way it doesn't screw up my silhouette because it likes to do that. So now I click apply. You got this like nice uniform thickness all the way around. And I like doing this a lot because let's say if you already had thickness and you start like, oh, I'm gonna change my shape to look like this and look a little different. What happens is the thickness on the side starts getting really not uniform, and then when you 3D print this, you get a hole right here, you get a hole right there. So that's why I like adding Dynamic Subdiv with uniform thickness all the way around at the very, very end. That being said, I tend to like to do fabric folds after the fact, so yeah. Okay. Good questions. Oh, and Secret says, do you make your own alphas for creature skins? I do sometimes. I grab like this. So what really ends up happening is you get like a pack that's like a default. I think I got some flip normals. Let me type in skin. I know it'll show up. It didn't. 1 second. What I'm trying to say is like, you'll use this alpha and you end up just doing it by hand anyway. You'll use it as like a guideline, but there's no shortcut to just like dropping a bunch of alphas everywhere and having detailed monster skin. You have to do it by hand. If you want to look good and like loved on, it's gonna be by hand. Good question. I did rob you guys of a sneeze. Can you still do Z modeler edits with a 0 thickness poly group? I wouldn't. I have made huge messes by doing that. So no Z modeler on a 0 thickness mesh, generally speaking. If you're gonna like extrude thickness, like Q mesh a poly group or a polygon, you're gonna have a disaster, okay? If you're gonna just extrude more edge loops, that can be fine. I don't trust it. I've made huge problems that way. Good question. Aloha, where's your art? You promised art, and now I don't see. I've been very proud of Aloha art recently. But yes, this is a time dedicated for my mentorship students, right? But if you're new, like secret, ask questions too. I'm not gonna harass you, join mentorship program. Not right away anyway. But seriously, if you hang out on streams, have a good time, ask a few questions here and there, I love that. Please, please ask. Yay! Yeah, so these are Aloha's projects. There is that parasite one where you can put a mini on the inside of this. Really cool. This one's having a hard time loading because it's so epic. This is that angelic paladinite. Yep, there she is. God, that's so gorgeous. This is one of my more advanced students, needless to say. Hello, I'm so proud of you. Oh yeah, and there's that fox folk, right? Very cool. I love the motion you have going with the tail. Heck yeah. Good. I haven't sent project work to Mia for a bit. Now it's commission work has acted in main goal and direction. So here are my past 3 commissions. Yes. Cook. Very good. Hey, monkey. Welcome in. Any more questions? It can be about ZBrush specific, art in general. I am open. We are done with sculpting and working on this Earth Genasi for the day. It's just question time. Have I done any work for video games? No, I have not. The closest like corporate work I have done is for Titancraft. If you type in Titancraft, it's a lot like Hero Forge, but better, because again, I work for them, they're super cool. And so the process for that is somewhat similar as far as like mapping textures to a UV, because like if you were just have the mesh itself render in the browser for Titancraft, it would bog down like crazy, right? So it's similar to the optimization you do for video games where you're just displaying like a picture of the texture as opposed to the actual sculptural detail. And then when you export it, it grabs the high-res mesh. It's pretty nifty. Gogo says, truth be told, if that was one of your less advanced students, that would be a mighty advertisement for the mentorship. That's true. I'm so proud of all of them though. Most of my students right now most of my students end up as they're brand new beginners. They'd never touched art really at all before talking to me. But don't get me bragging about my students. I'll brag about them all day. Do we have any more questions? And don't forget, if you think of a great question right after the stream ends, I'm going to be back on Monday. So subscribe, you'll get notified, and ask then. Oh, I'll also put that invite to the Discord. If any of y'all are on there and you're hanging out, we've had some cool new people today. You guys are more than welcome to join. It used to be Patreon only, but I've opened it up to like also live stream peasants, because y'all fit right in. I'm gonna jump back into Peasant Pool with Crying Aloha. Very good. All is as it should be. save this file really quick, make sure I don't lose it. I definitely do not have a problem with saving my files. Those have been around for a bit now. Secret, you have a lot of good questions. Secret says, how long does it take for you to finish one character? In terms of hours, so it's a little tricky because I get it pose ready here, and then we rig it in Character Creator 4 and make multiple poses. Also, like, it's a lot different whether I am sculpting, let's say, a cherry blossom dragon from scratch versus, like, come here, a character like this, right? These are kind of different. But as far as, like, as a general rough guideline, I would say 5 hours start to finish. And that's including getting it test printed and all ready to go. And then, is Pinterest the best site for references? It's fine. I mean, it's for vibes. To me, like, a real reference is like you're sculpting like a lion. So you want like an anatomical correct reference for a lion. Pinterest is mostly AI nonsense, which is fine for vibes, but you should not be copying any references from Pinterest. One, because it's not your art, and two, that's not how references work. And three, it's probably AI and it's not going to be accurate. But as far as like interesting proportions or color palette or, again, mood board vibe stuff, sure, Pinterest is fine. You're better off looking at maybe like ArtStation, or even better than that, we actually have a resource that we have shared somewhat recently. It's in our Discord, but essentially it is a library of actual photos of animals, repository, and there's no AI. Again, I don't despise AI necessarily. I just, when you're trying to sculpt stuff accurate, you need to be very careful on what you're referencing. And then Paint says, where is the auto save settings in ZBrush? Very good question. Go to Preferences, Quick Save, and there you are. I have a maximum duration of 3 minutes because I'm a spaz and ZBrush crashes a decent amount. But I have my max Quick Save file set to 200 because otherwise you're going to bog down your files by just having thousands of ZBrush copies. There is that animal reference library. Thank you, Aloha. Very good. All right. If any last minute questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer, but that's going to move us into last call. So again, stream is now ending. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had a great time. I'll be back again next week. If you haven't already, I did launch my Kickstarter today. It is almost funded. Thank you guys so much. I love seeing these do well, of course. And this one was just so much fun. Pretty much every one of these monsters you guys see on this project that I put together here was sculpted on stream. So if you haven't already, check that out. That is linked thanks to Aloha. Empress says, Mia, do you prefer to save the whole file or the tool? What's the difference? So when you save a ZPR, it is going to save, oh my lord, come here. It's going to save every tool. If you just save a tool, it just saves one. So if I save ZPR, it's going to save this and this and this. I generally save ZPRs, but I could just save tools. It doesn't super matter. Technically, tools are a smaller file size. I tend to save ZPRs because it will keep my light settings and stuff, or I feel like it does. I might be wrong. It's just more of a habit at this point. Just Single says, Mia, are you trying to say that AI needs to train with real references? Then we need to as well. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, my dog is snoring. Let's get a little Maverick cameo right before we leave. Oh, you can't see him. He's super wrapped up. There is a dog in there. Okay. That's a good snore. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I think that's a wrap. Oh, really quick here. So from Secret, again, you're on fire with questions today. This is a good one. Any tips to get better at anatomy? Is it just copying references good enough, or you need to know the theory of it? You gotta know the theory of it. So if you blindly copy, it's gonna fall apart because there's so much variation in bodies, in people. I mean, in anything, right? Anatomy is just guidelines. I joke all the time, but just be in the grocery store, I'll look at people, I'll be like, wow, you are an extreme version of what I thought was possible. But you need to, like, for example, like, look at like a face, right? Why is there a bump here, but not in the middle? Oops, there's my mic. It's time to hit my mic. Anyway, but not in the middle of my forehead. It's because I know what a skull looks like. So the reason there's like I have an eye bag here is because that's the edge of my orbital socket. So if you take your finger and press at the bottom of whatever your like eye bag you have, you'll feel a bone. You can feel the edge of that socket literally on your skull. You need to know why that is there and what's underneath the skin. Otherwise, you'll not be able to recreate it. Same way where it's just like, why is there a bump here? Okay. Well, that's the edge of your collarbone, right? I know that's going to wrap all the way up to the top of my shoulder. And then same with like, what is this? That's this, oh God, how do you say it? It's like sternomastoidocleidomastoid, whatever. It's a muscle that goes from behind your ear to the top of your collarbone. You need to know why those connect and how they connect. So when you make monsters, you can exaggerate that, right? You can give them a super, super long neck, but this line right here will always connect to the top of the collarbone. You're never going to take this and put it in the middle. That doesn't make any sense. If you don't understand the fundamentals of anatomy, you will never be able to sculpt convincing creatures. They go very hand in hand. Cool stuff. Sorry I smacked my mic. Haven't done that in a while. Yeah, exactly. All right, y'all. And with that, I will leave you guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And yeah, thanks for joining me on the stream. It was a super good time. And I'll see you guys Monday, okay? Like the stream on your way out. I'll see you later, peasants. Bye.